welcome back to Elle the Law Student. So today I thought that I would go through some of the ways that I save money at university, but whilst I was doing this I also found that a lot of them were also kind of ways that I've also been trying to save the planet at university, and so there's a bit of an overlap with quite a few of them. One of my New Year's resolutions is to try and do my bit for the planet. I've really tried to do that this year in particular, but everybody has ways that they can improve, and so if you have any ways that you try to be more eco-friendly as a student, then please let me know. Okay, so some of the biggest things I've found is that you have to remember that sharing is caring, and by that I mean make sure that you get along with your flatmates, your housemates, the people around you, especially if you have a kitchen, because then it's just creates so much less waste and you save so much money because you can buy things together. We tend to come up with a few meals that we want to have that week. If we have any food left over and we can't freeze it, we'll pop it in little containers and put it in the fridge, and that means that one of us will probably have it the next day for lunch or for tea or whatever, and that's been super helpful. First of all, because it helps us save money on food. There's no point in having 4 separate bottles of milk in the fridge and 5 different bags of pasta. It just doesn't make sense, especially when you've got quite a small kitchen, which I do, and people might not have that time in an evening all the time, and that tends to be how we work it. So for example, last term there were times where I was really ill or super busy in the evening, and that was okay. My flatmates would cook, and then other times I would cook because they were really busy, and sometimes we'd all cook together, and that was really nice and just a great way to relax at the end of the day as well. That applies for just things like dishwasher tablets, hand soap, all these kind of things. It's so much easier if you buy that all together. Another way though that people feel like they're actually losing money when they split the cost of things is that they feel like they're either paying too much or they're not getting their money back from the people. Some people maybe are doing the shopping more than others, and it's super difficult to keep on top of who's spending what. How we overcome this is an app called Splitwise. Splitwise is a really great app. Create groups in there, and every time you spend something you log it on Splitwise. At the end of the term or week or however long you want, you press the settle up button and it'll tell you who owes who what. For us, most of the time it pretty much evens out and we end up owing each other £5. Linking into that as well is to do a weekly shop. This term there was a point in the middle of term where I was ill, Olivia was doing shows, people were just super busy doing different things, and we got ourselves into a routine basically where we wouldn't know what we'd eating that day, and one of us would just pick some food up on the way back from the library or wherever. It just wasn't working because you spend so much more money when you're just buying food as you go, and you also waste so much time, and it also makes you more likely to grab the stuff that's the quickest and easiest to eat. Which isn't necessarily the most healthy or the cheapest. Coming into the next term we want to do this a bit more, but I would cycle to Aldi sometimes and just get the main stuff that we needed, and that made things so much easier. I got all of our veg, fruit, bread, all those kind of things. And then things like milk we did tend to leave to get from Tesco's because the difference in the price of milk isn't really, there's not a huge difference depending on where you shop. We really started to shop with greengrocers. Saving the planet and saving money really come together. It was so much cheaper to shop at the greengrocers to buy all of our veg. At the end of term we literally were buying no veg at all in the supermarkets. We bought it all from the greengrocers. It was so much cheaper. There's no plastic packaging. You can go around and feel the different veg and see which one you want to buy. Ultimately as well, it just meant that we tried so many new things, because I would go to the market and see some really good looking butternut squash and we'd buy those and do something with those because we had butternut squash. I did a feature for the Oxford Girl about Cookpad. I was gifted the experience, but I wasn't paid or anything, and I've absolutely loved using Cookpad ever since. I'll leave that in the description, but basically it's kind of an online community where everybody contributes recipes, and it's super duper helpful for if you're wanting to try something new, or you got butternut squash for example and you don't know what to do with it. So just making sure you've not got that food waste and that you're getting the most out of the things that you buy. The next thing is changing how you buy things. By this I mean making sure that you're getting the best value for money for those products that you will be buying anyway. So for example, student discounts are brilliant, however you do just have to be careful, because the purpose of student discounts is that these companies want you to buy products, and they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart by giving you a discount. So long as you're using student discounts for like good reasons, only buying those things that you actually need and actually want with that student discount, that's fine, and you'll save yourself a load of money. Some places do 40% student discount, especially kind of food places, which is absolutely amazing. Consider where you're buying things from, so similar to the greengrocers, but like for example, I wear contact lenses. I just had a look around and I found that it was so much cheaper for me to order my contact lenses from Vision Direct. Just those kind of things that you might have been getting from the same place for a long time. I've saved so much money by just going to a different provider. Same thing with like mobile phone contracts, all of these kind of things. And if you don't have Honey installed as an extension on your laptop, do it now. It's so good. It basically doesn't let you forget to try and see if there's any discounts available. It applies all of them automatically that are on the web. Something else at this time of year that can be really helpful is to go to Boots and Superdrug and these kind of places and see what they've got left over from Christmas, because it'll all be super reduced. I was in Boots the other day and they've got like half price plus student discount on all of their gift sets that they were selling for Christmas. They had this gift set which has got 2 bottles of Love dry shampoo in it, and it's so much cheaper for me to buy that than for me to just buy 2 bottles of dry shampoo. So kind of thinking ahead, and it's also quite nice, you kind of get to give yourself a little present. My only thing with kind of these things is that obviously it's a lot more waste, so making sure that you're recycling things. I really think that this year some companies did make a difference and they seem to use more sustainable packaging, but there's still a long way to go. And I felt like on Christmas Day especially, I just had like loads of plastic trays everywhere lying around and it just wasn't necessary at all. It can be really useful to start buying like large quantities of things. For example, on Amazon, I buy these campus notebooks and I buy them 5 at a time because you get quite a decent student discount on that with Prime Student. But also it's just cheaper to buy a set of 5. As a university student, you can pretty much guarantee you'll be using 5 notebooks, so those kind of things are worth the long term like investment almost. Something that I do think is really important is to make sure that you're buying good quality products in some cases. So for example, shampoo and conditioner and shower gels and these sorts of things. I had a bottle of shower gel now. It basically lasted me like almost all of the terms last year. It was absolutely insane, and it was from This Works, which is quite an expensive brand, but in that time I would normally go through like, I don't know, just a ridiculous amount of £1 shower gels, and so these things really add up in terms of waste and money, and so sometimes it's actually better to get yourself some like better quality, slightly more expensive products that you only need to use a small amount of. We also found this with dishwasher tablets, so we started out the year by buying like Tesco's basic like own brand dishwasher tablets, and all of our pots were just like dirty. They weren't cleaning. We ended up paying like probably double actually for buying Fairy dishwasher tablets, and things actually got cleaned and we weren't putting the dishwasher on for like 2 cycles, and all around better like cost wise and frustration wise and planet wise. So there are just some alternatives that are in the long term cheaper and better for the environment and these sorts of things. And just as an example of that, I bought these in TK Maxx. These are like makeup removing cloths and they take off your makeup so easily with just water, and then you just put them in the washing machine after. I probably wash them every week, which maybe I should wash them more, but I will. I saved so many cotton wool pads. I've used so much less like makeup removing products. I've not used any. Pretty sure you can buy like washable, reusable cotton wool pads as well. That's something that I definitely need to look into. And obviously things like water bottles. Everybody says it all the time, but making sure that you've got a reusable water bottle with you. I think this video was a bit rambly, but I'm hoping it was kind of useful. I'm not sure, maybe, we'll see. If you have any tips for me, either to do with saving the planet or saving money, then please let me know, because those are 2 things that I'm very keen to do. So I'll see you.